Hey y'all, hey. Hey y'all, hey. Happy Bible Talk Thursday. Hey y'all. So I thought I figured it out, and just everything is just messing up right now. Technology is really stressing me out at this moment, but I'm gonna figure it out. I promise y'all. By the end of this month, I'm gonna figure it out. I had an idea, but it didn't work because my storage is full on my phone. So my videos are acting dumb. But shout out to Mama Debbie for the shirt. She see that I'm in my content era and I'm just trying to get it done. But I'm excited for this journey. It's a lot, but it's nothing that I can handle because God wanna give it to me. But anyway, I'm gonna start getting into what I prayed over. I prayed over my book and I opened it to Job 30, and I'm gonna get into it because it's pretty lengthy and I don't want to have to do two. I can't talk today. I don't want to have to do two different videos. So let's get into it. It says, "But now they mock me, men younger than I, whose fathers I would have disdained to put with my sheepdogs. Of what use was the strength of their hands to me, since their vigor had gone from them? Haggard from want and hunger, they roamed the parched land and desolate wastelands at night. In the brush, in the bush, they gathered salt herbs, and their food was the root of the broom bush. They were banished from human society, shouted at as if they were thieves. They were forced to live in the dry stream beds, among the rocks and the holes in the ground. They brayed among the bushes and huddled in the undergrowth. A base and nameless brood, they were driven out of the land. And now those young men mock me in song. I have become a byword among them. They detest me and keep their distance. They do not hesitate to spit in my face. Now that God has unstrung my bow and afflicted me, they throw a restraint in my presence. On my right tribe, on my right the tribe attacks. They lay snares for my feet. They build their siege ramps against me. They break up my road. They succeed in destroying me. No one can help me, they say. They advance as though a gaping breach. Amid the ruins, they come rolling in. Terrors overwhelm me. My dignity is driven away as by the wind. My safety vanishes like a cloud. And now my life ebbs away. Days of suffering grip me. Night pierces my bones. My gnawing pains never rest. In his great power, God becomes like clothing to me. He binds me like the neck of my garment. He throws me into the mud, and I am reduced to dust and ashes. I cry out to you, God, but you do not answer. I stand up, but you merely look at me. You turn me ruthless. Turn on me ruthlessly with the might of your hand, and you attack me. You snatch me up and drive me before the wind. You toss me about in the storm. I know you will bring me down to death, to the place appointed for all the living. Surely no one lays a hand on a broken man when he cries for help in his distress. Have I not wept for those in trouble? Has not my soul grieved for the poor? Yet when I hoped for good, evil came. When I looked for light, then darkness came. The churning inside me never stops. Days of suffering confront me. I go about blackened, but not by the sun. I stand up in the assembly and cry for help. I have become a brother of jackals, a companion of owls. My skin grows black and peels. My body burns with fever. My lair is turned to mourning. My pipe to the sound of wailing. Yo, I really love the book of Job. Like, all that he has been going through. This is number 20, book 29 said Job's final defense. So this is Job talking. But I love the book of Job because it reminds us that we will all still go through things. And that's what I kept hearing in my head. We'll all suffer. Like, we'll all go through things. It may not all be the same, but we'll all go through different things and different trials and different storms. But that doesn't mean give up on God, because God wouldn't give up on us. But it's just crazy because he said, I cry out to you, God, but you do not answer. I stand up, but you merely look at me. And I had marked that off first because sometimes, even with myself, like, I cry out to God and I don't feel like he's hearing me. But then after I suffered a little while, which the Bible says, after I suffer a little while, he restores me, which he does. So that means that he hears us. If he's restoring me, that means that he heard what I needed. But in my storm, I'm learning things that are going to take me to my next destination. So no matter what storms and what trials or whatever you may be going through, just keep trusting in the Lord and just keep praying to him. Never stop talking to him, because you can see that Job is still talking to the Lord. It doesn't matter what he went through. He's still talking to him. He could be upset right now because he lost everything, but he's still talking to the Lord. And the Lord wants us to keep in relationship with him, because if not, what's the purpose? Like, he wants us to communicate with him daily. And I think that's really important, because I remember a time where I didn't pick up my Bible, or I didn't talk about God, or I'm not going to say as godly as I am, but I wasn't where I am right now. And it's just crazy to think about all the old times where I wasn't relying on God, and like now here I am relying on God. And that doesn't mean that the troubles are going to stop. That doesn't mean that the storms are going to stop. Actually, they might get worse, because when the enemy sees that you're trying to become what God is calling you to be, he gonna start coming in more. He gonna start coming in harder, and that's okay, because God still chose me, and the devil will never be God. So I know that all of the storms that I go through is for a reason. And the reason is not even only for me. The reason is for me to help other people. And that's why I don't mind doing these Bible talks, because whatever I'm going through or whatever I'm talking about could be helping somebody else. And that's why I love God, because we're not here to be selfish people. We're here to be selfless people. And I just really hope that out of these Bible talks, you guys learn that we aren't here for ourselves. We're here for other people and to help bring other people back to God. So that's why I have been obedient and making sure that I do my Bible talks. Yeah, I may have missed a day or two, but I always come back. So that's the thing, consistency. And it's crazy because I was just thinking about consistency yesterday and how I have to be more consistent with a lot of things. But doing this is my one thing that I am going to stay consistent with, because it brings me joy. I actually really like doing my Bible talks, and I actually apparently really like talking, but sometimes, like, if I'm standing on a stage or something, I'm nervous. But when I'm here and it's just me and you, like, it feels right. And that's how I know it's from God. Because some things can feel right, but they aren't from God. But that's where you have to use your discernment and figure out, hey, God, is this you telling me to do this, or is it me and my thoughts, or the enemy trying to make me do something? And that's where, again, that discernment kicks in, and you be like, all right, well, God is telling me to do this. And I know for a fact that he's telling me to do this, because I look forward to it, and I'm just excited about it. But Job, read the whole book of Job, because he really lost everything, and he still didn't give up on God. So I encourage you today, don't give up on God, because he's not going to give up on you. And everything is going to work out. I promise you. Have a good day, y'all.